In the last video, we looked at rounding using a number line. Let's have a look at rounding when we haven't got a number line. Using the examples we did before, we have 224 and we want to round it to the nearest 100. Then we look at the hundreds column and we're trying to decide, is it going to round to 200 or 300? To decide this, we look at the next number and decide, is it going to be below 5 or 5 and above? 2 is below 5, so that shows us that it's going to round to 200. This is 200 to the nearest 10. We look at the other number, 372. Again, we're rounding to the nearest 100, so we look at the hundreds column. And what we're doing is deciding if it's going to go to 300 or 400. We look at the next number, which is a 7, which is above 5, so it shows that it's above 350, so we go up to 400. So that would round to 400. The next example, we've got 3,746. We want to see if it will round to the nearest 10. To decide this, we're looking at the tens column. Is it going to stay as 3,740 or round up to 3,750? To decide this, we look at the next column and say, is it lower than 5 or 5 and above? Well, 6 is above 5, so that means it comes into this section of the number line. So it will round up to 3,750. For the other number, we've got 3,758. Again, we're rounding it to the nearest 10. So it's the 10 is going to stay as 3,750, or it's going to go up to 3,760. We look at the next number to decide. 8 is larger than 5, which means that it comes into this section. So it would round up to 3,760. For our last set of examples, we've got 4.72. We want to round it to 1 decimal place. 1 decimal place means the first position after the decimal point. This is the one that's going to round, so it's either going to stay as 4.7 or it's going to go up to 4.8. To help us decide, we look at the next number. It's a 2, which is less than 5, which means that it comes into this section. 4.72 would round to 4.7. So the next number, we have 4.87. We want to round that to 1 decimal place. To decide this, we look at the next number. It's a 7, which means that the 8 would round up to 4.9. It comes in this section on the number line. If you have any questions, drop a message in the comments and remember to like and follow for more.